Tonight is happening, huh? I think tonight is quite unlikely. Yeah. For a girl like me to be standing here in front of you, all of you, successful businessmen and women, entrepreneurs, artists, scholars, and influencers. Yeah. Tonight would be quite unlikely for someone like me to do what I do if it wasn't for my parents, if they didn't leave everything behind and take refuge in the States, risking everything so that their daughters would have a chance. No, I would not be here tonight if it wasn't for you, you know? If it wasn't for the organization that accepted us, our sponsors who sponsored us, and everybody else who supported us. I would not have the chance to go to school, to get this degree that has been my ticket to help make a difference, you know, to pay it forward. I think my life would have taken on a different turn. And I would find myself fighting a war that I know I would not win. Fighting to be seen, to be heard back in Iran. Fighting to get an education. And I would be the minority of the minority. And if life was kind enough, I would not be objectified for being a woman, you know, for this hair, makeup, for the way I look. Yeah. But I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that all of this is my reality now. All that is Los Angeles, you know, the perfect weather, right? The hot shower, Nespresso machine, Spectrum high-speed internet. No, they're not sponsoring us just yet. Anti-diarrheal medication, you know, the type that doesn't give you more diarrhea. You never know what you need when you go to India, you know. Yeah. And yet, I've met so many, personally, since 2018, who are not as lucky as me. Their realities are completely different than mine. They're bound by their circumstances. They're prisoners of their place of birth. And to think that that is our major difference for the life of me. Kind of puts life into perspective, doesn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, my friends, tonight I stand before you not only as a teacher or a former refugee, but as a witness to the incredible resilience of the human spirit and the boundless potential that I've personally seen in children living the harshest of circumstances. And I mean the harshest of circumstances. Let me tell you all that I've seen. From my own students here in Los Angeles with 1 million adult responsibilities, to my students in Nigeria escaping the wrath of becoming child soldiers, to the little ones in India, in the slums of India, who are armed with nothing but their smiles. And with those smiles, they go to war every single day, fighting against injustice, abuse, bigotry. Let me tell you all that I've seen. The starving children that I met in Kenya, villages of Kenya, with diseases that you and I could help prevent. All those little ones in Ethiopia studying under the shade of a tree. And every little soul that I recently met in Ghana who have not even seen the color of a textbook. All that I've seen, you know, real moments, real raw and bitter moments that got me hooked. Some of my friends always ask people, Nogo, if it's so hard, why do you continue doing this? Because if you had seen what I have seen, you would be hooked too. You would feel responsible. I still remember him, you know? That little boy. It was 2018. It was the very first time I decided to go overseas. So I decided to go to India. And I really thought, well, yes, I'm about to make a difference. This is great. I'm so excited. And my first assignment was to volunteer in an orphanage. And I was so happy, and I was sharing that excitement with the team that was assigned to me. And then my coordinator told me, well, Nogol, your life is about to change. Had I known him longer, I would have known that, I would have known what he meant. Anywho. So we drive up to this orphanage, and I see a gentleman waiting to greet us, Mr. Kumar. And he asked us to come in. And it's so vivid as if it was yesterday. I feel like everything I'm telling you, I've been living it every day. And walking in, it reminded me so much of old Persian homes, you know, in the villages of Iran. The walls were made up of bricks, broken at every corner. Bricks you can hardly count on. They're ready to fall apart. And beneath your feet, tiles crusted with dirt, with weed creeping out between them, pulling them apart. And it was so hot, I remember. You know, this is June in India. It was so hot that I kept thinking, what am I doing here? This is crazy, you know? I miss my AC, I miss being comfortable, I miss Los Angeles. I would call Sahar all the time and I would cry, you know, like, I don't know. And, you know, all of this stemmed from like a personal crisis, and I decided I wanted to kind of do something nice. And sweat was dripping down my face, and I was scanning the whole area, and to my left, there were these trees, old and tall, rooted deep into the ground. No grass, no flowers, and then my gaze fell on this little person. Yeah, really small for his age. He must have been no more than 3 years old. And he instantly reminded me of my little Jaden, and my nephew at the time. But he had this exhaustion, you know, he was tired. And he was looking at the other kids with envy. And I remember thinking, man, this kid is 3, like he should be jumping around, playing with the other kids. So I asked Mr. Kumar as he was giving us information about the orphanage. And I said, Mr. Kumar, what's wrong with this kid? Why isn't he playing with the other kids? He has this exhaustion that's normally supposed to hit you at age 35, right, when you're planning a gala. And he looked at the little boy and he took a half sigh. He was looking at him as if he had found his little nephew in him. And then he told me, well, he has AIDS, full-blown AIDS. Everybody at this orphanage has AIDS. And nobody wants to adopt them, so we're their family. And I remember everything went silent for a moment, you know. I was so ashamed that I had missed my AC, that I was feeling uncomfortable. I was angry because this child was suffering because of generations of ignorance, something that could have probably been fixed with awareness education. That the world had failed my little Jaden. And then I broke down. I remember. And then I became a zombie, you know? For 2 weeks that I was there, they would take me from one orphanage to another, from one broken school to another broken school, the slums, just everything that I saw. It was just, they were just dragging me from one place to another place. I couldn't think straight. And my mind was kind of working at 1,000,000 miles per second, and I was thinking, well, what can we do? 2 weeks, I just showed up. I didn't do anything. But I kept thinking, well, if you could light up one corner of the earth, just one small area, then we've done enough. So on the plane ride back, I remember thinking, well, I'm a teacher. I don't I don't know anything else. I don't know what else can be done. Are you guys listening, by the way?
Yeah.
You sure? I was hoping that you're still listening. Where was I?
Playback.
Where?
Playback.
Oh, plane. Okay. So I was on the plane ride back, and my mind was working like super fast. And I didn't know, I didn't know what could be done. Should we go give them food? Should we go give them clothing? But that doesn't solve anything, But I've seen the transformative power of education, right? So I proposed education. I proposed one education, one world, and I know there are organizations who might do similar things, and I say it's not enough. We need more. I didn't know what a nonprofit was. I didn't know what a 501c3 was. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that we would be rejected 99% at a time, But I knew we'd find our 1%, and that's you guys. We would find our crowd. Our journey has been a roller coaster of emotions, a test of faith, determination, and resilience. We've been faced with unimaginable challenges, from theft to deception, from the weight of expectations to the relentless pressure to give up. But we've persevered, driven by a deep conviction that the world can change if we stand together. I'd love to take this second and just say that you showed up. Thank you for showing up. That means the world to me. You showed up, my family, my friends. Dr. Kamalawadi, you showed up. Parham, you showed up. Elham, you showed up. Mawam Bawa, everybody, you showed up. Ross, yes. Robina, you showed up. Thank you. Now, Jimmy ended with a quote. And I have a quote that I live by, I try to live by every day. So I'm going to share that with you. It's from Toni Morrison. I tell my students, when you get these jobs that you have been so brilliantly trained for, just remember that your real job is that when you're free, you are to free somebody else. When you have some power, then your job is to empower someone else. Oh dear God, I hope I've earned the privilege of your time. Thank you.